Hello YouTube, Liverpool fan in Japan, and Miyazaki Manzai here. I hope you had a subarashi Christmas, absolutely splendid Christmas with your loved ones. I am absolutely stuffed. KFC, pot pie, demi-glace sauce. But enough about food. Actually no, let's go over food. I got such a sweet tooth. Here it is, 7-Eleven crepe ganache, Japanese style ganache. I can't be doing with the sweets. Gotta get rid of that dad bod. Last one for the year. Oh, oozy, melty, chocolatey goodness. So yes, unfortunately we drew with Arsenal 1-1. The biggest takeaway to that is actually we deserve to be competing at top of the table. We should have won that one. That counter-attack, many on one. Trent Alexander-Arnold, the ball didn't quite sit up nicely for him. Hit it against the crossbar, chance gone. Truth be told, we had ourselves to blame under the cosh. That Gabriel goal really shouldn't have been a goal. Cody Gakpo keeping the line onside for Gabriel is what it is. We came back. The roar of Anfield was back. That was fantastic to hear. I got up at like 3:40 AM or something like that. Little one had her night feed, so I checked out the scores, and actually I went into a spare room and carried on watching the game. Japanese commentary, they were all about the Endo. Wataru-san, Wataru Endo, Gambare Endo, Sugoi Endo. Wow, Endo, absolutely everywhere. I tell you what, we were dominating Arsenal's midfield. A midfield of Havertz, Rice and Odegaard were being put to the sword by Endo and Curtis Jones. Endo and Curtis Jones were dominating that midfield, dominating the play, turning over the ball. And a statistic for you, Curtis Jones is one of the highest ball turnover players in Europe in terms of progressive turnovers in the final third. He's really good in that attacking sense, turning over the ball. I don't know if you've seen it. Also, Curtis Jones can hold on to the ball in any position on the pitch. Left wing, left half space, left Mazzala, left mid, even in defensive midfield, take it off the defence. Curtis Jones is a vital component of this piece. The only thing is he needs to build up consistency because he always gets those niggling injuries, right? And Wataru Endo, my goodness, if you weren't convinced before this game, top of the table, league, clash, Premier League, Wataru Endo was everywhere, absolutely dynamite. Blood, thunder, sweat and tears. Wataru Emperor Endo, was so proud of him. Liverpool fans in Japan were going nuts. Endo-san! We were absolutely loving Endo's display. And he should have gone away with the man of the match. I don't know who got it. Was it Konate? Konate was man mountain piece as well. Very interesting. He did a half step to force Martinelli to accelerate, trusting that his own acceleration could bring him back into line to make the tackle on Martinelli. Konate was an absolute colossal titan. Shingeki no Kyojin, attacking titan. Yes, the anime powers to be were there. I love Harvey Elliott's little tippy-tappy little touches. Left foot, bubble, bubble, bubble. Going forward, progressing forward. That's what you need in this type of games. The bravery to go forward. The first thing in mind is to turn forward and go forward and progress. Szoboszlai slightly hit and miss again, but as a unit with Endo and Curtis Jones were absolutely solid. I think it gave us the basis to win the game. Forward line's a little bit misfiring at the moment. Obviously, Lucho Diaz, I think it was knee-on-knee clash. Very unfortunate. I don't think he's going to make the Burnley game. We'll come on to the Burnley game and strategy for the Burnley game in a bit. But Kostas Tsimikas, that is a big loss because he was bang on form, bang on fire, always an outlet. And I know Joey Gomez, right? Gomez, fantastic, stellar job on the left-hand side against Bukayo Saka, who can do him for acceleration. Gomez is very fast as well. Held his own, even was an attacking threat. That goal will come this season. I'm convinced of it. Klopp has told him to shoot. His shot wasn't a million miles away. Curled with right foot, just inches past the post. But the thing is, because you don't have a natural left-footed midfielder on the left, like Lucho Diaz or Curtis Jones, and Gomez on the left-hand side, you're taking away one of the consistent threats, which is whipping the ball in first time. Tsimikas can do it, Robertson can do it, so you know for sure they're always going to cut inside to try to hit it with a right foot or a slightly tamer, lofted, left-footed cross. And predominantly, no one really goes around the outside with this lineup. Gomez, Tsimikas is the only one who could do it on the left-hand side, a la Robertson as well. We don't have too many left-footed players who play on the left, except from Harvey Elliott or Salah. It was a little bit interesting to me that Harvey Elliott, right wing where he normally plays, Mo Salah was put into the centre forward position as he usually is late in game when trying to chase a game because he's our big game player. Darwin Nunez on the left. I would have liked to see Darwin Nunez in the middle, Mo Salah on the right, Harvey Elliott on the left, because Harvey Elliott has actually got quite a delicious left-footed cross, even from the right half space, offensive transition half space, on the right-hand side, cuts in, whips on the left hand side. But I would have liked to see a world where Gravenberch work together with Elliott, short 1-2 tiki-taka passes, get Gravenberch in front of the defensive midfielder, put him one-on-one against him, pin him back, centre mid, right back, right-sided centre-back of Arsenal, get him in that kind of zone, because what they did was what a lot of teams have been doing to Ryan Gravenberch lately, and we did lose momentum when Gravenberch came in, and this is the reason why. When you give him time and space, you step off him, he doesn't know what to do with the ball. He doesn't know where to place it. He doesn't put tempo on the ball. He doesn't pass the ball with authority or pace. He's actually more prone to losing the ball because he wants to drive, but there's not an opportunity to drive there because all they're doing is setting up the block in front of him and giving him space to drive into. Now, Gravenberch needs to kind of work on the patterns of play to make sure he knows what to do. Either rotate the ball around, shuffle the ball around, give the ball, give and go, hit the ball back, let transition over and try to get to the back post or in and amongst the final phase of play when the ball's over on the right hand side. So I think there's still a lot of work to be done there on Gravenberch's phases of play to understand what to do in different situations. Otherwise, teams are just going to stand off him. He's going to be ineffectual. We lost a lot of momentum. We lost the midfield actually when Gravenberch came on for Curtis Jones. It's not just Gravenberch himself, but it's just the loss of Curtis Jones, who's in uber form at the moment, being able to retain the ball, recycle the ball, transition the ball, and progress with the ball. He's a forward-thinking, positive player who can drive and dribble. I'm sounding a bit nasally at the moment, a little bit under the weather, under the cosh. Liverpool under the cosh for a little bit. We saw Martinelli come, Saka come, but actually, have you noticed a lot of strategies? Look at Jeremy Doku, for example, and Bukayo Saka and Martinelli. What they're trying to do is isolate Trent 1v1, Tsimikas 1v1, Gomez 1v1, and hope that these players can beat them to the byline and drive the ball across. It's all well and good, except for the fact that when you're guided out there, you're going to have to hit a 88, 90 ball out of 100 into the right spot, into an oncoming runner who needs to finish it and beat Alisson Becker as well. So you're limiting them to these half chances, which, unless a miracle happens or they're very, very lucky, turn over the ball to us, and that's what we want. When they come back inside, it's another phase of play and they can shuffle and rotate the ball again, and Arsenal's pretty good at that. But wasn't it very positive to see Arsenal being a very, very positive, strong, front-footed, front-pressing, attacking team with a solid defence? We matched them mano a mano with Anfield. Our team looks very, very good. Van Dijk absolutely imposing again. Trent hit some beautiful, beautiful balls. Not too troubled defensively as well. Our strike force isn't quite clicking at the moment. Lucho Diaz coming back from knee injury, dad situation, isn't that confident beast that was just back himself to go and attack them. I want to see him run directly at defender, street ball style. Suarez, dirty ball, street ball style, straight into defender's arse. Tiki-taka, bobble, bobble, off the knee, off the shin, beat the man. Be productive in front of goal. We're needing Jota's street balling skills at the moment because we're too clean. Does that make sense? We're too clean as a team at the moment, trying to score very beautiful passages of play in and out into the half space, shoot across goal. We need scruffy rebounds. We need to come off a knee. We need to come off a shoulder, off a head, that kind of thing. And that's where Darwin Nunez is very, very proficient in centre forward role because he offers that kind of ricocheting, chaotic style. Okay, I know Agent of Chaos is overused, but it really fits his kind of demeanour well because he can score those scrappy goals and is not so pleasant on the eye sometimes, but it's effective. Gakpo's a very clean player. He takes the ball cleanly, he turns cleanly, he holds the ball cleanly, and he shoots cleanly. He's not that kind of scruffy dirt baller that you want up front. Sometimes you need that. Fowler scored them, Owen scored them, even Neil Mellor scored. Florence Cinemap goal scored those kind of goals as well. Just scrappy, running in, tapping in. Sadio Mane, that's who we need. He's the absolute scrapper, scrappy dappy doo. He just in there. It doesn't matter where the ball bounces. He gambles, makes the run, slides in, off his head, diving header. Last minute against Everton, Sturridge hit the post, Mane's in there first. We need that instinctive, predatory instinct, and I think Diogo Jota brings that. So he's back in January, so that's very positive. But let's get on to some slight negatives. So Kostas Tsimikas collarbone. Now here's a true story, right? When I was maybe 2-3 years old, we had a snooker table lined up against a wall. I was crawling. I don't know what happened, where everyone was, but I pushed that thing, it fell down and crushed my collarbone. Luckily it didn't crush me, crushed the collarbone. And yeah, A&E, looking at the collarbone, put it in a sling, go home, too young to do much with it. However, as soon as I got home, I took it off, left it dangling. Don't know the reasons why I didn't put it back in. Maybe I didn't enjoy it. It recovered over time, and now my left arm is significantly longer than my right arm, which gives me a hell of a good jab, which is why I succeeded in a semi-pro kind of cage league in university. Nice long jab. Clicks every now and again when I do pull-ups, but is what it is. I digress. Collarbone, very painful, very, very painful injury. It connects everything around here and all the connective tissues and nerves as well. So Tsimikas will be out for a while. I don't know whether it was initial 4. I think it was the initial 4. It wasn't Klopp landing on him. He took Klopp out as well, but yeah, Bukayo Saka, he's a little bit of a golden boy in the referee's eyes at the moment. He gets away with so much Harry Kane style. But quality player, and he's a nice guy, generally nice guy. I don't think he's a nasty player. I like Bukayo Saka. He's one of England's hopes. England actually have a lot of potential to utilise Trent with the personnel they have in the formation. I'll make a video on it someday. However, back to Liverpool. This midfield though, Szoboszlai was so-so. Didn't take the game by the scruff of the neck, didn't really impose himself, didn't get clean shots away. He seems a little bit hesitant to shoot, a little bit nervous to shoot. Like, there's an opportunity to shoot directly into goal or with the outside of foot, and he scuffed it wide because there's a player in the way and he didn't want to hit that player, so he went a little bit wide. I would have liked to see him gamble it with outside the foot, Roberto Carlos style, getting it in and around the player, or go right through the player like a Risa rocket, demolishing the player on the way, right? Szoboszlai, cheeky chappy, but he needs a mean streak. I would like to see a mean streak in Szoboszlai. Gakpo as well, playing the shadow striker role. He needs to work on the kind of heading ability as well, and the kind of hold up play to bring others into play. He's good at holding up the ball, but he's not bringing others into play a la Firmino, so we need something there. Mo Salah, I noticed his touches were a little bit off key. Some of the times the ball was travelling way too ahead of him and he had to catch up to the ball, losing the ball on occasion and trying to rough it up. He needs to be a bit more clinical in his touch and decision making. I would like to see Liverpool try to overlap and go around the outside. Now, I don't care whether it's a fullback, but in this system it's more likely to be Szoboszlai. I want Szoboszlai to hit Salah and off he goes around the outside and Salah return it. Szoboszlai on the run is ridiculously fast. He's actually faster than I ever expected. Similarly, on the left hand side, I want to see Gravenberch hit it to Lucho Diaz, right? Or Curtis Jones hit it to Lucho Diaz, dash around the outside, get the ball in front of him on the run and take the fullback on the outside, not just cut inside and bring it back in. Especially on the left hand side, we're way too predictable. Gravenberch will come inside. Lucho Diaz will come inside. Curtis Jones will actually come inside, but it will drive in a kind of diagonal manner as well. We need someone on the left to offer that width to stretch the field of play, because actually we're pretty good at whipping it from wide areas. That's one thing we've lacked. For all the dominance we've had in the middle and a quarterback position to get Trent inverted centre back or inverted pivot midfield, we're losing something around the outside where we scored so many other goals previous seasons. Now, I'm not saying revert to those systems, but we can incorporate it into this play depending on the team. And Arsenal can get bombarded because I fancy our players to get in and amongst them and rough it up. And let's talk about that handball as well. Clear handball. We had that guy in the VAR who never gave us anything. I think he's the one who gave us bad decisions previously. Yeah, that's very unfortunate. That one goal set us back. We were chasing the game from there. Arsenal could settle, knowing that they had the lead, and even if they conceded one, there'd still be an even pegging, so they could play the natural game. Gave them confidence, gave them an edge. Anfield's loud factor is reduced slightly when they've got the momentum and tempo because they've got that lead. We had to chase the ball. Salah won the strike, huge strike, absolutely funded it in. Salah against Zinchenko is always a good matchup, but we just didn't get those isolated moments enough, I would say. It's very, very unfortunate. They were there for the taking, but actually it may be better for Liverpool to play away this season against the big teams, because they might open up to give us more of a transitional chance to get through their lines. But hey ho, we're within touching distance. Man City are dropping off slightly. The injuries are slightly picking up. We'll come to the January transfer window and what's realistic and what I think Liverpool should be doing in the January transfer window to cement our title push. Now, it's not just bring in Andre 3000 Trindade from Fluminense. It's not just we need centre back, left back. I do like Piero Hincapié. He's not always starting for Leverkusen, but there's a lot of potential there. He's young. He fits the mould for what we want, because it's hard to break in a lineup with Van Dijk and Konate, even Gomez. Unfortunate for matchup as well. Do we need a right wing backup for Salah? Endo goes to Asia Cup as well. Defensive midfield, McAllister's coming back. Lots of discussion points there. We'll do a dedicated transfer window video for January. But let's get onto the Burnley matchup now. And just before you do that, make sure you hit the like on this video, get the channel seen. I really appreciate all the interactions you guys are giving me. The comments are fantastic. Let me know what you thought about Arsenal game as well, and your predicted lineup and strategy against Burnley. I'll do lots and lots of competitions coming up this year. Without further ado, let's get on to the Burnley lineup. Now, without wanting to take your precious time, I've gone straight into the predicted lineup for this matchup. I think this is the starting 11. Now, some people may be saying Gravenberch in for Jones, give Jones a bit of a break, give him a rest. Potentially Quansah in for Konate as well. Bubble wrap that man, bubble wrap that guy. Szoboszlai might need a rest, put in Harvey Elliott in place of Szoboszlai. Actually, that's probably the most likely change that could be here. Elliott starting for someone instead of Gravenberch. Gravenberch was slightly ineffectual when you give him space to run. Burnley will be giving him a lot of space to run because they'll be under the cosh and they'll be defending from deep. 2 blocks of 4, deep position, pivot 6 as well, closing it in. It could be almost be a 5-4-1 or 4-5-1 depending on personnel on the pitch. You got to go strong. We have to end this year in style. We dropped points versus Arsenal. We should have got all 3 points. They're still top of the league. They've got a tricky fixture against West Ham. West Ham on their day could turn up and do anyone. They did Man United, for example. They've got quality players. I love Jared Bowen. I love Lucas Paqueta. These are quality players, and on their day, they can do Arsenal in. We've got to gun them down, and then we can make our changes. Okay, so for example, straight away we know Alisson, Van Dijk, Konate are strongest free pivot pillar in the middle. Trent on the right, Gomez on the left. Now, Gomez has been pushing up predominantly on the left-hand side, cutting in, even taking shots. Another cutting in variant, as I mentioned earlier. Trent has been dropping in, double six alongside Endo, double pivot. I think we'll resort to that because that's what we've been doing for majority of the game, and because we pen Burnley in deep, we'll see this kind of formation, which is not bad. Okay, so Nunez can stretch the team out with his legs. Salah as well, receiving on the wide position. Trent likes to put it around the outside for Salah, or over the top into Nunez as well, to a very lucrative phases of play. But what I particularly want to see as well with Nunez with space is drive that line, work together with Jones to get him in position, to get him into these kind of spaces here, because he does create a lot of havoc. He creates a lot of chaos, a lot of nerves because of his pace and physical attributes and ability to get in behind. Now there is a world where Gakpo and Nunez interchange, because Gakpo in Holland predominantly came in off the left, cut inside. He's got a delicious cross to the back post, which Salah could benefit from. Szoboszlai as well. I haven't seen Szoboszlai doing too many in the box runs. It's a very interesting thing that he's been floating in and around the outside, taking advantage of his long shooting ability. But I'd like to see him get in the box as well, because I do think he's got the facility to be a late arriver into the box to score goals like a Frank Lampard especially. There is a world where Nunez causes havoc here. Gakpo cuts inside, shoots near post, or if Nunez is on there, it's either shoot near post or shoot back post, depending on positioning of the opposition defenders. So that is a option as well. But predominantly, I think we'll see this because they've been working on this formation. Gakpo as shadow striker. Now, what Gakpo as a shadow striker allows you to do is take the ball in and around this area, safe as houses. Jones is very proficient at taking the ball on wide areas as well, and Szoboszlai takes the ball fairly on a wide area as well if Trent pivots into the middle. This leaves Nunez causing havoc with Salah in and around these positions. Depending on where the ball is, if the ball's on this side, Salah likes to get in a half space, Szoboszlai drops back to cover as well, and Trent likes to push himself up as well, and Endo covers the line. Our formation ends up something like this, a bit inverted, a bit pivoted as well, because it doesn't always have to be balanced, it just has to be effective. But something I'd like to see slightly differently is Endo pushing up as well, Trent being in a right side half space because of his delivery. And when you've got Gakpo and Nunez on together, I just want to see them swinging balls. I want to see them swinging all the balls. Salah left foot, outside left foot, swinging the balls in as well, because we'll get joy. I really do rate Nunez and Gakpo as a striking prodigy. They have the ability to really get into the high numbers, not just the tens of numbers, but they've got to gamble, they've got to act like a striker, they've got to get in the box, rough it up, ball drop anywhere, 50-50, bounce, turn and smash. Now Gakpo has that shot, back to goal, scrappy ball in front of him, he turns and shoots, and he injured himself one time. That's dedication. And Nunez can win the ball in the air. We've seen the ability to charge on a ball, get in front of the defender and flick it on. You know, one finish I haven't seen Nunez do often enough. When the ball's on the right hand side and whipped in on the floor, he runs in and flicks it with the heel flick. I think on his very first match in the Premier League, he did 2 heel flicks. One was saved, the next one was scored. We've just got to drive the ball and hit the ball early to Nunez. We've got to hit him early. That's something we've been really lacking in our play. We're trying to be too methodical and too controlled in our build-up that you just don't see that anymore. And it's a shame, because Nunez is instinctual, he's got physical prowess, he's got absolutely all the attributes to get in front of the defender without being offside. We don't always have to slide him in. We need to work our way into the positions to give quality delivery. And when you've got this kind of lineup, there's no excuse not to. Also, I think Gomez has a chance to start switching the ball out to the right, because Gomez's delivery has improved massively throughout the season. I've been really surprised. His delivery predominantly from the right, but from the left as well. He has techers, he's got balls. He's actually pretty good. But I think the first goal will be dictated by a long shot, a deflection, or a scrappy cross in that we just nimble and power in or get in there, because we've got to start scoring these scrappy goals. Without these scrappy goals, we can't get away with 1-0 performances when we're under the cosh or when we're not doing too well. This as a unit looks very beautiful. Obviously Van Dijk covering pace can smash it in as well into any of the free players on the edge of D, but it's likely once again that we will bypass the midfield more often than not. It seems to be the way the system. So they'll start getting the ball. will pivot around, give each other options. Trent being the central playmaker, Szoboszlai collecting the ball, Salah in the half space, Gakpo probably shadow striker somewhere in the middle, and Nunez out here. And we'll probably bypass the number 10 area, which is actually a really fun place to watch, the interchange, the interlinking, the movement. And we play our little triangles as well. Trent, Szoboszlai, back to Konate, Trent, Van Dijk. Either Van Dijk or Trent will start picking it through. But if we do break the lines, it's going to be something like a, as usual, Endo to Szoboszlai, key area here, and then we actually got to do something with it. It's not just step up and shoot, backing off and shoot, which could be a lucrative thing as well. You can get deflection off Burnley, and that might be how you make the breakthrough as well. But ultimately, I'd like to see us play with purpose and a clear idea of how we're looking to fulfill our win conditions and get the goals. Curtis Jones is so comfortable taking the ball in any position, so he's always given the option there. And what are Burnley looking to do? Burnley looking to transition as well, out wide, cross the ball in. They don't play through the middle, and obviously with the middle pivot set up the way it is, it's a very hard unit to break through as well, because there's just so many bodies in the way, and an outlet all the time. Something like this, Salah in half space, Mazzala position, or Nunez out and around the outside causing havoc as well. I think as a substitution, it's usually Gravenberch for Jones. We might need to save Gomez's legs, so Luke Chambers or Scanlon or someone coming in. Could even be Connor Bradley, allowing Trent to have a more full-time position at the bottom of the diamond if and when Burnley completely penned in and he's not going to be pressured by their midfielder, because he won't start as a midfielder. It's just a waste of his ability to take away his space by allowing Burnley to put a midfielder directly on him, because it's hard to pick him up when he goes from right back into that space or into that space or into that space. But starting in midfield, it's easy to just put a number 10 sitting on him and following him around. So I think we will beat Burnley 2-0 because we need to make a statement and end the year well. And even though we failed to pick up points off the top 6 this season, I think we've come away with many draws and a loss to Tottenham. I'm still optimistic because having played some very hard games away, Man City I'm thinking, Tottenham I'm thinking, Chelsea as well, even though they're not top 6, I think our run-in looks very fun. And with McAllister, Thiago, Jota, Robertson to come in, as long as we don't get any injuries, pending we don't get any injuries, because you can't fix everything in the transfer window. They're not settled to the squad, speed of the Premier League, Klopp won't trust them to start, etc. I think we have as good a chance as anybody, because Man City are not as dominant or as scary, and we've given as good as we got in the big matches as well. So hopefully you guys had a great Christmas. Looking forward to a new year as well. Miyazaki Manichiban, Liverpool fan in Japan channel, growing massively. I appreciate all your support. I really love it. The interactions is top notch. So many intelligent Liverpool fans are watching this channel. I can tell just by the comments you're making that you're really thinking about how Liverpool plan to attack the game tactically, how we defend, personnel, substitutions, transfers. A lot of this thing is very interesting, apart from the fact that some fans on other channels, when you're watching Liverpool coverage, it's just like, oh mate, he's crap. Why is he crap? Because he's awful, mate. He's terrible. Why is he terrible? He weren't good. That kind of thing, right? So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. A little bit under the weather, as I said, but Liverpool fan in Japan, always keen to make the content for you guys. I love talking about Liverpool. It's my passion. As well as that, Genzo Suikoden is one of my favorite RPGs, I love talking about that as well. That's for another day. Guys, enjoy tonight. Guys, enjoy the game tonight. It's a late one for me again. I'm going to wake up in the middle, check out the scores, watch the highlights if I'm awake, or watch a Japanese commentary to go, Nunez Gakpo desu ne. Peace.